Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
So it's the final of the Euro 2020, and the two finalists, Italy and England, have surprised a few people. Not many had them, including myself, in their finalists for the competition, but alas, they are the ones to compete to take over from the reigning champions, which are Portugal. I had Belgium and Portugal in my prediction for the final, but how wrong I could have been. This Euros has been an interesting one and has been a tournament in which teams that perform on the day have carried it. It has not been based on a reputation. And we're going to preview the final and some team news, as well as my thoughts and prediction on the final that is upcoming tomorrow, England versus Italy. As usual, subscribe if you have not, click on the notification bell to get more updates. So for the first time in 55 years, the English will be taking part in a final for the first time since 1966, when they won the World Cup. Well, probably they take part in finals they are meant to win, but it has been a long time coming for the English, and they have really tired in doing that. In 2017, they won the World Cup with the stars including Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden, Ryan Brewster, and also Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They have now graduated into the senior national team, which is the Three Lions, and are part of the squad that have formed really the building blocks to leading Gareth Southgate's side into the final of the Euros. Well, many would say that England got here under controversial circumstances because of the penalty shout that Raheem Sterling got in extra time versus Denmark, which many clearly saw that was not a clear penalty. But you have to make your own luck, and Raheem Sterling made his own luck by running into the box and tempting the players, the Danish defenders, to try to make a tackle. Whether there was contact, minimal contact, or whatever, Raheem Sterling made his own luck by taking on the initiative and making that run into the box. So I was one of the people that was against that decision, but looking at it, he made his luck and he has gotten his reward. VAR was supposed to do their job and it was not done. But besides that, England have had a great tournament. They started off in Group C along with Czech Republic and also Croatia along with Scotland. They got out of the group on top with 7 points and got onto the path where many thought that they could not be able to make it, because Germany were the opponents in the round of 16. They fought really hard, and with Gareth Southgate's football being criticized as boring and lethargic, I think the man knew what he was doing. It was tournament football, and you had 90 minutes to get a win. He had leg on the brakes, more or less, concentrating more on defending than attacking and hitting the opponents on the counter-attack. Rather, it worked to perfection against Germany as they went on to win 2-0. Raheem Sterling with the goal, and Harry Kane opening his account for the first time in the tournament. It was great to see Kane back in scoring, considering interest from teams like Manchester City. England went on and went into the next stage of the competition, where they went into the quarterfinals to face Ukraine, thumping them 4-0 before beating Denmark 2-1 to make it into the next final, the first ever final in 55 years. The story of the Italians has been quite different. They have been swashbuckling and have been tearing apart opponents, especially in the group stages, and got all 9 points that were available. They went into the round of 16, in which they dispatched Austria effectively, albeit in extra time. They went into the quarterfinals against the Belgian Golden Generation and were expected, the Belgians were expected to overcome the Italians. But this Italian side, since Roberto Mancini has taken over in 2018, have been really emphatic. They have not lost their match after failing to qualify for Russia 2018. Roberto Mancini has done great magic with the team, and they are on an amazing run. They hadn't conceded until the round of 16 phase for a long time, and it was Austria that opened that floodgate for them, sort of, and they scored a goal against them, although not beating them. The Azzurri went on into the semi-final, which was intense to say the least. The semi-final against a Spanish side who historically have been having it over the Italians, beating them in the final 4-0 in 2012. Italy, wearable calm from the spot was Jorginho to net in the winning penalty. The Italians are now in the final to face the English. The two teams have met before. They have history. In 2012, a Panenka penalty versus England, in which the Three Lions once again from 12 yards failed to make it through from the quarterfinals. Roy Hodgson was the coach at the time. These finals will be interesting, and since England are taking part in the first final for the very first time since 1966, the onus is on them to win. They are playing at home for that matter. Azuris have a tough task ahead, and they will have to draw strength from within to be able to overcome this very determined and talented English side. You might have all the criticisms against them and think that the English are not deserving finalists. They have played 6 of the 7 games at home, and then it is interesting to note that even with all that home advantage, they still had to go on the pitch. Yes, the 12th man helped them, but you cannot deny the talent at play. Gareth Southgate has been criticized heavily for his style of play, but he is in the final, and the others who were fancied, including Belgium, had not in there. Portugal, one of the surprise people that were unable to make it further into the competition after the round of 16, considering they had a better squad than they did in 2016 when they won it, have been really disappointing in this tournament. It has been a great competition where I have said that the team that does well on the day always emerges triumphant. Reputations are out the window, and the Italians will know that from the offset. The Italians have not lost a game since Roberto Mancini took over. That will count for naught, and England will not mind about such a statistic. They have the belief. They believe. Calling for public holidays, the Queen has written to Gareth Southgate and the team, talking about the first time she was at this 1966 World Cup final, where she handed the trophy over to Bobby Moore, who lifted it for the English. And since then, they have not had this amazing occasion again. They will want to have a public holiday, as many of them are proposing, should the English win. It will be a tough task for Italy. But if anyone can overcome such pressure, you know that is the Italians and the Azzurri. I feel it to be a game that will be won by the finest margin. Nothing much will be taken from the two teams. It will be the closest of margins ever. Considering I did not fancy England to get here, Italy were the dark horses, as I said in my predictions. I think the Italians might have it, but marginal decisions, barring marginal decisions, I think Italians should have it. They should, however, be wary of England, who are no walkover. They did not get here by luck. Let no one deceive you. And once again, they have home advantage. Talented side, which was the bedrock of the under 20 World Cup winning side in 2017. England versus Italy, the Euro 2020 finalists. Your predictions in the comments box. Who will win it? Who will emerge triumphant at the Euros? Will England win their first ever trophy in 55 years? Will the Italians overcome the home pressure from the English fans? Your guess is as good as mine. I'll see you guys in the next one. Drop your predictions in the comments box. Enjoy your day.